So this is our second dive day on our trip. We are in St Maarten, St Maarten, and we did 2 dives, and this is the first of those. And what you'll notice right away is I'm using the GoPro on the end of a stick, so I get much better composition and not as much bubbles and not as much noise. We had about 20 divers in the water at one time. Crowded boat. But St. Maarten was much nicer. You'll see right away from the uh, diversity of life, the soft corals, the hard corals. Here's a gray angelfish, and I'll name this fish as I see him if I can. I don't know them all, but I'll try. And if you see one that I misnamed, please let me know. But you can see the diversity of life, all the numbers of fish. It's just great. That's a stoplight. Oh, what is it called? A stoplight parrotfish. That was a female. Those ones with the yellow tails are yellowtail snapper. Here's one everybody knows, barracuda. Here's some more barracuda. Just checking out the divers, following along. Much more interesting dives in St. Maarten, just because of the diversity of sea life. Here's another barracuda. I think he was asleep under that rock. I think we must have woke him up. And then if you look off in the distance, you'll see there's a little shark right there, a little black tip reef shark. Sort of cruise by. We'll see more of him a little bit later. But Karen saw the shark. Okay? Okay. Here's one of my favorite sights. Wide open, in the open, a lobster. In the Caribbean they have spiny lobster just like we do here in California. No big claws. Here's a grouper. I like groupers. They're shy though. Hard to get too close. One of the things I liked about the GoPro on the end of the stick is that you can get it close to a lot of the creatures, a lot of the fish, and they don't seem to care too awfully much. Certainly different than trying to get a big bulky camera. This is a box fish. And he was just checking me out, I think, as much as I was checking him out. Here's another box fish, slightly different color. Really unusual coloring. Look at that. A blue tang off to the left there. It's a dory fish, right? And here we are hanging out at about 15 feet after our first dive for a brief safety stop. I'll show you what we look like on the boat too after the dive. And here we are for our second dive. Kieran always looks so comfortable in the water. He's pretty much a natural. This is an interesting piece of coral. I think it's a hard coral, but it's got a soft, fuzzy. You can see it move in the current. A skin almost. I didn't touch it. I'm not supposed to. Might have stung me. Had a lot of little fish around it. Don't know what they are. Here's another grouper, and they're shy. when you find a lobster, a lot of times they're deep underneath the rocks. Here's another one. This one was like he was dueling with his antenna. You can hear him at the camera. This is what I call a blue meanie, and it's really a blue parrotfish. That's the male version. And they eat the coral with these teeth. I call them blue meanies because they sort of terrorize the rest of the fish, it seems like. Ah, here's our black-tip reef shark again. This is our close encounter. He'll get close enough to where you can see that he's even got a remora buddy hanging on his back. Actually, it's way back by his tail. You'll see it. Here he comes. Just looking for lunch. Triggerfish, 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 triggerfish. Whoops, bug. I always get distracted by lobster. Here's a trumpet fish. Tiny little fins for such a big body. I don't know what this fish is called, but I think it's called a unicorn or a unicornio. They're really rare, and I just think they're neat. Stripes and dots. And that's it from St. Maarten.